I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 screens right now, not
What?
counting
Wow.
cell phones or TVs, because of the
So
live
was that
stream
hell
setup.
or heaven?
It depends. I can't move around my office. The live stream setup is 4 screens. Then I've got my workstation. I've got my laptop.
Wait, I have an important question. Do
We're
you guys
live.
Oh, we are? Okay. Do you guys do product placement? Like, can I drink my drink with my hands on it, or do I have to like expose it? Like, oh, I'm thirsty.
I don't think our 10 viewers will care.
So one of them is the president of Coke. So
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right.
All right. Well, we are live,
Hey.
and we have one person watching already, Philip. Hey, Philip.
What's up, Philip?
I guess we should get this going. Hey, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Toy Geeks Behind Our Desks.
Woo!
Because the counter is filthy.
I don't know. You guys were in there yesterday, and you seem to still be healthy-ish.
We were in there yesterday, and no, I mean everything's fine with the store, and we did what's called a Pop Shop Live, where you guys should download this app, and or just go to the 3D Retro Instagram, and you guys can find out more. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We got to like interact with people live, and people were buying stuff live. It was awesome.
I mean, I told Ben I popped in to say hi and watch the entire 4-hour thing because it was so entertaining.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like the best part was people would shout out, "I want to see that! I want to see that!" And like on the fly, they're like selling things. They ended up at the end of the day, they ended up going to the gotcha machines and opening them up, and they were like selling the.
Oh, did you guys do that? That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Great.
And it was great because we were just like, people were like, "I want to buy that," and it's like, so we're just like, we took a picture of it and put it up, and people
you
are able
don't
to buy it
normally
right
have
there and
those
then.
online, right, Ben? The gotcha?
Yeah, because we
Or
don't
do
do
you?
that.
Right.
So, but people wanted it on this, so yeah.
That's great.
But aside from that, enough about me. We have a guest, everyone.
Yay.
Yay!
Wait,
Hey,
I'm
Guy,
ready.
how's it
I want to
going?
hear more about this gotcha machine. What did I miss out on in that?
We have gachapon machines at the 3D Retro store, and
Those are the
we
capsule
usually-
machines, right?
yeah, it's the little Japanese capsule machine.
Oh, okay.
And we don't sell them online, but yesterday 3D Retro, there's a new app called Pop Shop Live, which is basically you download this app. You need to have an iOS device, and then we schedule a live show on this app. And what it is we're inside the store and we talk about like a product. Like we'll go like, "Hey everyone, check out this cool."
Oh,
Check out
no.
this
No one is safe.
toy.
Sorry.
I'm gonna keep bringing this guy back every day until we get out of quarantine. He's coming with us. But I would go
Wow.
like, "Hey guys, do
What
you like
is
this
that?
toy?" And everyone would go like, "Yeah, this is amazing." And then like a little thing would pop up on the corner of the screen where they can click it and just purchase right there and then. And it does all kinds of things like free shipping, and it combines all your orders into one at the end.
Ah,
You should
And,
try selling that as a special item next time.
Yeah.
As a viewer, that like anytime someone buys something, it pops up on the screen. There's confetti.
Yeah,
and
that's
all the
cool.
viewers
Yeah,
are
there's,
cheering
like,
whenever
lightning
anyone buys
bolts.
anything. And you guys are
So-
selling some stuff too.
Oh yeah, we sold a lot. We had over 100 orders.
Wow.
So it's
And
like
a lot
a
of big ones, like some
like
of the
a mini
larger.
QVC sort of.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
QVC right on your phone.
It
But
was
you
fun
host
home
it
shopping.
yourself.
Yeah, and it tells you when somebody buys something, and like Janky says, it shoots like lightning bolts and like, and so
That's
you're like,
wacky.
it's so cool. But so here's the thing: you download the app, you need to have an invite code because technically they're still like in beta, even though everything works perfectly. But you can download the app. Once again, it's called Pop Shop Live Shopping, and you use the invite code ARTTOY, all one word, ARTTOY, and that'll get you into the app. That'll actually get you into be able to purchase stuff. So it's really cool.
I'm digging that. All
It
right,
was
I'm gonna
super
have to
fun.
check that out later.
Yeah, I
Then
think
you
we're
can
gonna
go
like
buy
try to
stuff from Japan.
schedule a few things in the store with other people, and check it out.
Nice.
But Guy, for those who don't know you, why don't you give us a little bit of intro about yourself and what do you do and all that
Well,
good stuff.
I'm no stranger to Ben. We have sat on couches in the past many moons ago. Back at the apartment of toys.
The apartment of
everything.
toys.
Yeah, George's place. But yeah, I've done many things, but my main adventure now is I run a company called Crazy Bricks, where we do all kinds of cool Lego compatible accessories and custom figures as well. And
Nice.
we've done a bunch of different things. Our big one right now, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit, is one called Dino Dudes, which is on Kickstarter right now. And bunch of fun stuff to share on that. Like I'll show you guys one of the first little secrets that's not revealing until later today. But I think
Toy Geeks exclusive.
Toy Geeks exclusive. Then you have the thing that has to run across.
Hang on, I'll write it here. I'll do it.
Write that down and then drag it across. Toy Geeks exclusive.
Special effects is amazing, guys.
I know. Our budget.
That's kind of, yeah, I've pretty much heavily embedded in the Lego community. I've written books and many articles in it as well.
Other way, Janky.
Damn it.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Slick.
Nicely
done. Yeah, just know a lot about the bricks, and I likes to play with them, likes to make stuff, and I'm obviously deep into the toy world as a result of that as well. We were just talking a bunch about games. I know a lot about the game world too. So yeah, we can just, whatever you'd like to talk about, guide me there, Ben. I shall follow your lead.
Guy, I want to talk about what is that behind you?
Well, this is my toy collection. No, this is all China cabinet.
I was
You guys all
like,
have like Ultraman and Godzilla, and mine was like, this is a Depression era glass jar. I think you would like to check out.
He's going on an episode of Plate Geeks after us, and so he wanted to be ready for that.
oh, that's why.
I feel like mine's a little more legit. Like this stuff was around before we were born, and all your guys' stuff is fairly new. Yeah,
All brand new.
yeah, that's not cool.
Godzilla was around before I was born.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can hope so.
So, well, usually what we do, guys, we jump into some of the stuff that we bought, which we can do later. But I think we should start by, you mentioned that you've got a new project up right now on Kickstarter. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, and then can you highlight some of the stuff that you guys have done
Sure.
in the past as well?
Let's see. Well, let's start with the last Kickstarter we did was a reissue from a book series called Mouse Guard. So David Peterson is the author illustrator of that. The Lego community in Seattle had done a giant display, a big collaborative one, this has been about 4 or 5 years ago, and we pretty much recreated all of the major scenes from Mouse Guard, from the waterfront to the castle to the town. It was probably upwards of 20 feet long, very, very impressive. If I was prepared, I'd show you a bunch of things. You have to use your imagination. But when they wanted to first do the project, they said, hey, there isn't really any real mouse characters in Lego minifigure land. There was an old mouse in an old series called Fabuland, which probably you guys aren't familiar with, but it's early Lego, but they just weren't great. So they had approached me to say, hey, could you help us do the custom mouse heads and weapons from the book. And that led to me doing a Kickstarter for that, did a bunch of custom minifigures for it. And then this last one was just even more minifigures from the series. So let's look at some of them, shall we?
I gotta ask you, when you guys create these are clearly not, Legos or Lego.
Oh, no, that's fair. So first of all, everyone look at Ben and turn your noses up. He did the worst thing you can do.
I know, I call them Legos.
Plural.
They're called Lego.
He may have done it ironically, but we don't know. We're going to give him a chance to redeem himself. All right, I think it was ironic.
It was ironic. It was. I caught myself.
That is a very valid question. And obviously, copyright is something that we all want to respect. So Lego is ultimately a building toy. So as long as you are not putting in your materials like Lego authorized or this, as long as you refer to them generally as like clicking brick system, there's a couple of things that you just want to do as a creator to make sure it's clear that it's not an officially sponsored Lego thing. You don't want to have Lego in any of your web addresses. There's a whole fair use policy that they ask you to abide by. If you look up on the Lego site, pretty much if you follow within those standards, you're okay. And then, you know, they're creating building materials. So if you as a creator want to then take those and add custom things to them, custom printing, that type of thing, there's really no intellectual property issues there unless you're doing something that has other intellectual property rights to it. So let's say Mouse Guard, for instance, that's owned by David Peterson and Boom Comics. That is an officially licensed IP for me. So you'll see in all the materials for that one, it'll have all their copyright information. It'll mention that it's officially endorsed and an authorized product from them. And then there's plenty of stuff, you know, in the customizer community that's, you know, we all know it's Batman, so they might call it, you know, Cat Fella, Bat Gentleman. We all know what it is, and that's kind of the little workaround that some folks will use on things, because you're doing a lot of send up and tribute materials, I think, in the customizer community as well. And if you want to go really, how deep down this rabbit hole you want to go? Because we can go super deep.
I don't know how deep we want to go.
Okay.
But let's focus on the cool stuff that you make.
Well, sure. Okay, so this guy is one of the new ones from the last series. So this guy is one of the main antagonists from Mouse Guard. He is a mouse called Midnight, and he's kind of the leader of the rebellion faction that's the focus of like the first book. So out of this series, I did that guy. Also did one of the members of his army, which are called the Axe Army, because he's the Black Axe. As you can see, everyone is a mouse in Mouse Guard, as you would think. And then within that, there's different ways to go and customize stuff. So here is a figure called the Matriarch, and this is sort of the stock figure.
Neat.
But then as you go crazy and customized, here's sort of the epic version of her, where you can just go cool, customize it out. This actually has a fur cape on it. Yeah, I mean, you can go crazy just like in Toyland, but people, you know, do that a lot. They'll take their figures and just maximize them out with better, bigger weapons, capes, that kind of stuff. So that's generally who I tend to serve. I do a lot of stuff that may necessarily be like a product ready to go out of the package. I tend to do a lot more things where you're going to enhance an existing figure. The assumption is you probably have a pretty good minifigure collection already, and I'm creating cool things for you to.
We have a question for you
Sure.
on the live saying, how do you make the heads and the decals?
So the heads are injection molded plastic, just same sort of ABS that Lego would use. So if you're familiar with the injection molded process, there's two big pieces of metal. Someone has machined out a hollow space in them. The big horrible machine under pressure takes liquid plastic under a couple tons pressure, fills up that hole, that cools down, and then when you pop it open, there's an injection molded piece of plastic inside.
But going one step back for that, I mean, do you sculpt the original pieces that are eventually sent to China, mass produced, or should I say mass produced in a sense of like the community like us, mass produced means maybe 1,000 pieces. But you know, who and how do you actually create the original masks and decals that are being sent then to the factory and then made?
So generally, we'll do it all digitally. In the old days, there was even some traditional old school clay sculpting that would get scanned. Pretty much at this point, there's really no upside to us using clay or wax in anything. It's pretty much all sculpted digitally. And in that digital form, you now can, have millimetrical tolerances in it. You can analyze it for undercuts for molding purposes, and be sure that what you create and send to your manufacturer pretty much is going to be identical.
So it's usually a digital. Is there like maybe a template out there for like, brick add-ons? Like, if you want to do some kind of a helmet or something for, let's say a Lego head, is there like a template in these 3D applications right now that you can basically grab the head and then build on top of it?
I mean, if you have calipers and a Lego part, you can just measure it out yourself. But the big thing about Lego stuff is what's generally referred to as clutch or clutch fit, which is again like a micromillimetrical measurement. So I just happen to have a brick here. So generally there's clean distances. So when you go center point to center point over two studs, that's usually like a hard measurement. Like here, I think it's 3 millimeters or 6 millimeter. When I'm in brick mode, all these numbers come to me fast. When you put pressure on me, I can't tell you. But all those are hard, even numbers. But then when you get to the ends of parts, like here, that's never going to be a hard number. So you have even numbers in the middle of parts, and then everything drops off by tenths of a hundredths of a millimeter to create the air you need when spaces come next to one another. Then with your clutch fit, you're going to have like this round space here. It may measure as a hard number, but when you actually do your engineering on it, that tiny little bit of clutch power or squeeze is really what you're ultimately engineering towards. So in an organic piece like this, there's no real tolerances or things to work about except for this part on the head, for example. So that one, the difference between a head being too loose or a head being too tight, that's really what you're paying for in your engineering. That's such a fine difference between too much and too little. And that's why Lego parts can be so expensive, is they spend all the engineering time and efforts to polish those tolerances exactly where they need them.
This is the smartest episode of Toy Geeks we've ever had.
Oh, thank you.
Usually we're like, hey, Star Wars, and this is like millimetrical.
Are we learning? Are we like learning things here? Is that what's going on?
I'm submitting this for college credit.
I'm sorry.
This is great.
No, this is good.
Yeah, it's
we're
awesome.
supposed to educate the masses, and that's what we're doing here.
That's kind of one of the problems traditionally where you'll have these knockoff brand bricks out of Asia, is that they don't spend the extra money to put those tolerances in. So you used to get, knockoff bricks out of China that just don't fit right. They suck. They're not polished. But in the past couple of years, China has upped its game, as you guys have seen too. You can get toys out of China, which probably most of them are produced there anyhow, but they are as good a quality as any of the products you might get from a mainstream manufacturer. And again, it all makes sense. China's where most of this stuff is made anyhow, and they've just gotten better at it and have mastered that manufacturing process probably better than we have in the States when you get down to it. They're making all the stuff in the world. This China cabinet behind me, this is the last stuff on earth not made in China. But when I look at your cabinets and shelves, that's all either IKEA or China, it looks like. Be sure. Yeah.
Some of it's Japan, but mostly China. Yeah.
All right, good on you. And then the printing is usually 2 or 3 different techniques. What Lego does is what's called pad printing. So imagine there's almost like a little ink pad of a special ink. A little rubber stamper goes down on it, and then that rubber stamper goes to a part, kind of kisses that ink piece onto it. And all this stuff you're seeing here is all pad printed. There's a whole special mass production setup and machine that prints that.
Wow.
We have another question that says, is there a specific manufacturer that the Lego fans like to use?
You mean as far as like a secondary vendor person?
Maybe like I don't know, like either somebody that they can go to for custom stuff, or is there
Oh,
like a
I see what you're
factory
saying.
that they can go to?
So, overseas manufacturing, everyone that has sources are usually pretty protective of them because it's a pretty tight community. So,
So who are yours? Just tell us.
yeah, there
Tell
you
us
go.
now. Give us
So,
all
Can you
your
list them
secrets.
for us?
so anyone who does it for a business, if you say, "Hey, who's your dude?" they probably are not going to tell you because it's a pretty tight handshake type community. Now, having said that, um, when people say they want to make custom Lego parts, they generally have no idea how expensive that is. They just think it's like, hey, I got this idea, I want this cool hat, and then here's $50, and they think that's going to get them an injection molded part because most people are detached from that manufacturing process. But an injection mold that's going to make a number of parts could cost anywhere from $3,000 to $25,000, depending on how elaborate it is and how many it has. So yeah, when you're like to get this Lego part, which might cost you, 10 cents, the amount of mold and engineering cost that has to be amortized across that to get this to you at 10 cents, this is being made in the several of hundreds of thousands, could be a couple million. So the cost of this behind the scenes, there's a lot of pieces to spread it across. But if I made that whole mold to just make this one part and I was done, this might be a $15,000 part I'm holding in my hand.
That was valuable.
Yep. Steel
Yeah,
mold cost a lot.
Yeah, the way that someone used to explain it to me in industrial design was, what's a more expensive car, a Volkswagen or a Ferrari? And you'd be like, a Ferrari, of course, that's an easy answer. But if you only made one Volkswagen, but you made a million Ferraris, suddenly the Volkswagen's the more expensive car because you still have to, invest in all the engineering and design to make it happen. And that's, any toy is like that. If it's produced enough of them and there's a big enough market for it, the cost for that toy comes down. But if it's just Janky's the only guy who's going to buy it, you can charge him a fortune, but he might be the only guy in that target that's willing to pay that much for it.
So what you're saying is that you will not share your contacts for your
Well, it's a guy named Bob. Yeah, if you go
Bob.
to the go on 911 no 411 on the Chinese yellow pages, look up Bob, tell him Guy sent you. And
Bob.
that's him.
Very common Chinese name.
There's an alley in Chinatown. You go to the third door on the left, knock 2 times,
Yeah.
and say Lego Master.
His last
Gotcha.
name is Smith. Yeah, Bob Smith in China. You'll find him.
All right, so let's go back. You guys did the little mouse guards, and now you're actually working on a brand new project, which is on Kickstarter. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Good intro there. Like,
Ben is the
led
bridge
us well,
master.
Ben.
Try.
So our big one right now is on Kickstarter. It's been going a little over a week, and it's called Dino Dudes. And I can show you the fun display. Try not to drop it. Here we go. Let's see. So we'll zoom in on it closer, but basically Dino Dudes is 5 dinosaur characters. Oh, that one's missing. Okay, hold on.
Oh, wow.
There we go. So there's Triceratops, T-Rex. The real ones will not come with boxing gloves,
Boo.
but these guys, there's a conflict. There's a pterodactyl, and that was a stretch goal, which we already unlocked. And there's the Stegosaurus, also a stretch goal, which we already unlocked.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna show people the Kickstarter right now,
Sure.
so people can see what we're talking about here.
The Brontosaurus is my favorite. I
Can we
love
play
that.
we'll get back to that, Janky. Did you
Okay, good.
So it looks like you have 936 backers so far, with 21 days to go. So everybody watching, hopefully, if you are interested in this product, you can pick it up. And
So the big fun announcement, go down through the stretch goals. I just showed this to Janky. So this,
It's super cool.
A Nessie top hat, a free Digity grade legs,
you did very good, Ben.
new color options, and an add-on menu, and the Triceratops has been unleashed. Wait a minute. And another color option? More legs. Oh, what are the free skulls?
Goes.
Skulls. Free top hat. Oh God. It's pterodactyl. This is gonna be rough. That's a big word.
Paturo.
Pterodactyl. Free curly hair. I don't get that one.
So that is so we can reenact the Golden Girls. I want to have all the Golden Girls.
That'll be brilliant. Yeah, that needs to happen. And then there's a glow in the dark.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. So you've hit the 50K marker.
Oh, yeah. But the big one, all right, here comes. This is the big one. That's the one.
Fossil edition.
Or Fossil edition.
Those are cool.
Yeah. We just finished the prototype artwork on that. But that's the one that we're pushing for.
So are these at all like somewhat licensed to like
So this is my concept. Obviously, it's generic because nobody owns the rights to dinosaurs.
right?
And we do them all with genuine Lego parts as well. So the minifigure parts that we use, we source out in the secondary market, actual Lego torsos, Lego legs, Lego heads, and then we'll take those and do our own custom printing on those. And then all the accessory parts are obviously all of our custom parts for that. So let's get back to Janky. Janky, you said Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
I love that term. I have been slapped down so many times because in my
Brachiosaurus.
that's it. But all the planets used to be planets in my day. Now
Yeah.
we took a planet away. They took Brontosaurus away. This is what happens. The whole world's going to hell. Can't say Brontosaurus anymore.
The times they are a changing.
Oh. I didn't want to wake up to have my freedom to say Brontosaurus snatched away from me, but that's what happened. So Janky, you've been warned, my friend.
I know. I heard. I'm gonna say Brontosaurus more though.
Ooh,
I just like
troublemaker.
I think in context you could say it like, I'm not going to use that term Brontosaurus anymore, but just
That's
keep
true.
working off it.
Or I could say Brontosaurus is more fun to say than Brachiosaurus and just say that over and over.
Oh, there you go.
Ben, could we get a call on that? Is that legal?
I am staying out of this one so much. 2020 is just a mess. I'm not going to battle any. Like anytime I hear a story on the news about expedition in Antarctica to unlock what's underneath a massive layer of ice that's been frozen for 30,000 years. Let's do it next month. No, do not touch that shit. Like, please do not touch anything until this year is over. That's my
what's coming
about everything in 2020. Like, just don't mess with it. Don't
Yeah,
wake anything up. Don't
There's
dig up
Cthulhu's
anything.
under there. There's a lot of Cthulhu's under there.
God, please just stop.
How many Cthulhu's?
I don't need to know.
Upwards of 7.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
2020 wins.
that's the big fun one right now. And then we have a couple lined up for later in the year, but really Dino Dudes are probably a big one for the year. That's the one that's going to keep us the most busy. And we did one thing that was new for us on this one. I actually, when I model stuff and do the first outputs, we'll do little resin ones. Like, so the pieces we just saw, all of these are prototype material. So it's actually resin. If you look closely at this guy, like the reason I had him on the stand was we already broke him.
Oh.
Lets you see his bones and guts inside. But yeah, these are resin prototypes. Typically, I'll just produce one set, maybe do a paint master with them and I'm done. But this time I actually made 6 sets. And a couple months ago, just as coronavirus was starting to park itself, I mailed them out to some of the world's best toy photographers. So they all got partial sets, and if you look around on my Facebook stream or even in the Kickstarter, I have like the most amazing photo talent in the world has been kind enough to grace me to take photos of these amazing, amazing pictures. Like I
That's
know
awesome.
what they look like, and I get excited when I see the pictures from everybody.
Very cool.
Credited all over the place. Down at the bottom of the Kickstarter page, you can get to all their Instagrams. But I think I really like that. I think that's what I'm going to do moving on in the future, just because I really like to see them photographed early, and it also lets the audience get a better sense of what kind of creative pursuits you can do with them as well.
Now, for those people that are wondering where they can see more information, you mentioned you have a website. Also, do you sell anything that you've produced in the past on this website that people can go to?
Sure. Yeah. If you just go to crazybricks.com, that's our retail store online. And we tend to do a lot of like fixed edition or limited edition things. So we rarely have everything in stock. It's just whatever is in stock at any given time. We tend to run out of a lot of stuff because we don't do giant production runs. We tend to do like, you know, a good medium-sized one at the time. And then we get bored with it and we move on to other stuff. So
What's the most popular thing that you guys have made?
we did a gingerbread man that was with a technique called puffy printing, which actually creates like a 3D surface on it. And that gingerbread man was a series of just 300 of them. And it had pink guns in it that were like, you know, Mother's cookies, the pink ones with the little
The circus
the little
animals.
dot.
Yeah.
The guns
Yeah,
look like that.
animal crack.
Yeah,
Circus animals,
like
yeah.
animal crackers. That one, if you ever encounter that in the wild, people usually will throw $300 at that without thinking twice.
Wow.
'Cause those guns were never produced in that way ever again, and the figure in that special technique not produced that way again. Yeah, I think I only have like maybe 2 or 3 left in my collection because the rest just went out and are gone. And then we did a zombie version of that. I think that one sold out pretty quick too. People like the gingerbread man. Something about him really resonated with folks.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Well, Guy, thanks for talking about the stuff that you're working on, hopefully, and congratulations. It looks like your Kickstarter is going to be fully funded no matter what. But for people that don't know about this, hopefully you guys can go on there. It looks like there's still like 21 days left for you guys to be able to support it. Maybe get it up to that. What is it, $70,000 or $75,000 marker?
Yeah, 70 is our happy number for the fossil edition.
For the fossil edition, so you can all make Janky really, really happy. so
I have
With your
a question,
brontosaurus
Ben.
fossil.
Brontosaurus fossil for
Brachiosaurus.
In fact,
These are really
just decided that's going to be the name of the Brachiosaurus.
I love it.
Janky.
Awesome. I'm super on board.
So at this point in the show, what we usually do is we talk about, while we are in quarantine, if anyone has gone out and actually gotten some new toys, or maybe if you've gotten anything in the mail. Anybody?
I got a pin.
Got anything new?
I didn't get a toy, but I
You
got
got
a cool
a pin?
pin I want to show. Yeah, like this. I'm pretty happy with this pin. It's
All right.
Creepy Co.
And then-
who makes. Oh, sorry. Ben, where did you go?
Oh,
There
I'm
we go.
here.
Okay. So Creepy Co. who
All
makes a
right.
lot of really
Should
cool
we-
stuff. Or do we lose Ben? Are we weirded?
No, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, I was breaking up. I made it weird. That's embarrassing. Creepy Co. makes a lot of cool stuff, movie related, monster related, and they just put out this motion animated Tommy Wiseau,
wow.
The Room. You're tearing me
Oh,
apart, Lisa.
wow.
I had to buy it. I mean, there was no way I was not going to buy that. So
So funny.
that was my, and I pre-ordered this like 2 months ago, and it just showed up, and I'm almost positive it's sold out. But yeah, not a toy; it's a pin. But I thought it was awesome.
Guy, I
like a
think
toy.
what we need you to do is for every single toy that we talk about, you need to tell us whether or not there is a brick version of
Yes.
of the toy available. So, is there a brick version of The Room or anything related to The Room?
Yeah, I think it was in 1986. Somebody did a Lego lenticular lens TV with the room on it. Yeah, I didn't see a lot. Not too many were produced.
Was the movie even out in '86?
No, it was like 2008, then 5, 7, somewhere in there.
You know, Ben, you got your expertise. I got mine. So
All right.
don't come
There's-
over to my end over here.
There's got to be a Tommy Wiseau brick out there somewhere. Guy, this is your new challenge. I need you to find me the Tommy Wiseau brick.
I will back that Kickstarter so
For
fast.
sure.
I bet you somebody has done it. I mean, because it's all pop culture, like people are building their own, what are called mocks or my own creations. I can almost guarantee you at least a couple people have the guy from The Room.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will find it. I
Yeah, if
will
you
make
Google it up, maybe 3 clicks, I'm sure you're going to find somebody.
Hang on, I'm working on it.
it. All right.
On the case.
Scott, you said you have something new to show us.
I do. I have a couple things, both of which have Lego forms of, so Guy doesn't have to answer that question.
Nice.
So this has been out for maybe a year. It's the Infinity War Avengers Hulk. I've had it in my on my wish list for a while now. And so during quarantine, naturally, I'm on YouTube and I come across, review videos. So I watched like maybe 4 or 5 of them. And all the people reviewing the figure were like, this is the best Hulk. This is our best Hulk we've ever had, blah, blah, blah. So so I was just like, all right, finally, I'm going to pick this up. It's HR or SH Figure Arts Bandai. So it's an imported figure, and obviously it's one, on the expensive side. This guy was $85. But yeah, I can't wait to bring. I just got it actually right before I came to my studio for this. So yeah, I can't wait to crack it open. Here's the back.
Doesn't he open it live while we are all watching?
No, this is me.
Do it.
This is just
Do
me
it.
at Hulk time. No,
Hulk time is a
Do it.
no. Hulk figures, I sit down with a glass of bourbon, and
Oh.
we have some alone time. This isn't like one of those silly figures or whatever. But yeah, and it's
Do
got
it.
3 different heads. It's crazy. It's got like 2 different butterfly joints for the shoulders.
Wow.
Scott, for those who don't know, how many Hulks do you have in your collection right now?
I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. I mean, literally been collecting Hulk figures since I was small. I don't even remember. Yeah,
What are your personal feelings about Ang Lee?
And the movie he did?
Yeah.
Or just it was one of those where I was so excited to get a Hulk movie. So it's sort of like when episode 1 came out. You're like, a Star Wars movie. It's kind of that feeling where it's like, we got a Hulk movie, but obviously it hasn't aged really well at all.
It didn't age well the week after it came out.
Just like episode
As a
1.
lifelong Hulk fan, I walked out of it like I saw the Hulk, and then 2 days later I was like, oh god damn it.
And it was one of those weird things where it wasn't really a comic book movie, other than how they did the swipes in the movie and stuff. It just, I don't know. It was, again, when it came out, I was super happy about it. I've watched it. The last time I watched it was maybe 6 years ago, and it's all right.
That was it. Okay.
I will say that the I think it's like a 14-inch. There was a giant Hulk figure that came out of that movie that had the actual cloth pants, and it's in storage. Unfortunately, because when I moved, I had to put. Because I've got a big my whole collection is not as big as Scott, but I think if you got him and mine together, we could take over a small Hollywood apartment with it. But that one and there was another. So like a $3,000 apartment. That figure is one of the best Hulk figures I think that's ever been made. Like the pose, the face. It's
Scott
light.
just said he has the best figure.
That's what they said. Scott has yet to weigh in on that.
Mine's in storage as well, so I haven't seen that figure in a while. And actually, the unfortunate thing about being a Hulk toy collector is these things take up so much space, even in storage. So
because they're big, they're the Hulk.
They're big. I know.
You should
But,
be
What scale is that, Scott?
Knights.
It's on a it's like a 6-inch scale. So if you put this,
Okay.
yeah, if you see, I have this one, the Hulk Build-A-Figure. This is actually, maybe this is my favorite Hulk to date, just because I like the smile. Like, you never get a Hulk with a smiling face, so I thought that was pretty cool.
It's so creepy though.
He's snarky Hulk.
Wait, you think that's creepy, but that thing you keep flashing at the beginning of every show isn't creepy?
I'm gonna ask for a Hulk version of this.
I would buy a Hulk version of that.
This
Yeah, I think
That
Scott
one I
would
love.
too.
This is a great one too. Yeah, this is a 2-pack with the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem with this one is the feet are so small.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird how tiny they are. But
If you bump into a shelf with a Hulk collection on it, they all fall over because they're stable until they get any motion, and they're so top heavy. It's like dominoes of Hulk
Yeah.
figures.
It would be hilarious if that happened, but they were all talking and they were Hulk smash, Hulk smash, Hulk smash.
smash.
so
Even
other-
the even the Lego Hulk is 3 times larger than a normal Lego, so it's
yeah, and I have
True.
a few of those Lego Hulks too. I have the red and the gray. Well, I have the knockoff versions too. They made like the different colorways. Of
Right.
They did like
China
a red.
went to town on those. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a red one and a gray one. I
the
only got
composite one.
the what?
There's a composite one, the red and green split.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Loeb one. Yeah.
Yep. The other thing I grabbed was this.
Oh, cool.
It's an updated vintage collection, Slave One.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, these just came in. I pre-ordered it months ago, but yeah, it's this is obviously like a collector edition type thing. It was 150, I think, but like if you look at the detail and the paint and everything, it's pretty darn amazing.
Is it the same size as the vintage one?
This is like the 3 3/4 inch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not the Black Series.
Right.
But yeah.
That and the Carbonite, because I think the Carbonite chamber must have just coming out too, because they're all over Instagram right now.
What is?
The Carbonite chamber.
Yeah, it has some functioning parts to it with the Carbonite. Yeah, stoked to play with this. Again, this is one that I need to sit down and have some alone time with. So yeah, that's my stuff.
Nice. Sorry,
Thankfully, one of us buys toys.
Shaky with you.
Shaky Janky buys pins, so
Yeah, every week I have some non-toy thing. Here's my socks. Here's my pin.
here's some pancakes I made for breakfast.
I work a lot. It's hard to get out.
Nice. Anything else, Jack? Have you gotten anything recently? Purchased anything that we should know about?
Bought a bunch of stuff, but it comes from Asia, so it hasn't gotten here yet. So no. Eventually, I'll have like a bunch of stuff.
Never will.
Yes, I will.
Is this the time in the
Have
episode?
faith, Ben. Have faith.
Disappointing.
Oh. Well, then I guess this is the part of the show where we.
Where we go?
Why are you laughing already?
Because
This is the part of the show where we visit our favorite website,
Instagram.
Vinyl Pulse. For those who know or don't know.
Wait, you got to do
Here we go.
You got to do the. We're going to
Oh,
the
it's
Instagram
a new
thing.
post from Vinyl Pulse here. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I always mention we don't usually go to the website.
Nicely done.
We
Yes.
don't go to the
Wow.
website. We usually go to the Instagram page. Jack, this is a new post that you did here. I see.
What are we talking
Very
about?
related to our conversation.
Yeah. Jack's
Okay,
steaming
yeah.
Vinyl Pulse towards my interest these days.
Yes.
Well
That's
done.
an impressive build.
Yeah, that's my buddy Ian up in Seattle, who's like a pop culture guy. Anything
Do
that
you know the guy who made this?
Yeah. That's
Oh my
That's
gosh.
amazing.
yeah. He so if you go around his Flickr stream there, you will just see like he's probably the first guy to build a left shark. He the Instagram shot of from the Oscars and stuff. He's very talented and has a good way of expressing things with like the fewest amount of bricks. He's a fun guy.
That's impressive. I want that.
All right. Now let's visit the actual
Hey,
vital.
Ben, you have to mention how Jack doesn't like you going to the website. And that's why you go
That's
to
right. Jack doesn't like us going to the website, so we usually visit the
You get
Instagram.
close up of my face going.
every week.
Thanks, Scott.
So
We got to keep the
you
tradition.
told us that. You told us that, Jack.
I said that the Instagram was better suited for
So
this.
let's
Yes, I
start.
did.
This is kind of
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting.
and of course it takes forever. I don't know what's going on. So
Whoa.
okay,
Oh, there it goes.
there we go. So this is clearly this is Daniel Arsham.
It is.
And this is going to be a limited edition resin sculpt. So here's the thing. I know you report on these guys, Jack, but it's like, isn't it like almost nearly impossible to buy these things?
So that's a good question. I don't think so. This one in particular. So he started this thing, this collaboration with I think some Chinese investors, and it's called Archive Editions. And this is the second release. The first one was he did Pikachu, a licensed Pikachu with his like crystal erosion. And the white version of that was Archive Editions that was only available in China. This white edition by Archive Editions is only available in China. But I'm expecting that he's going to do the same thing where he's going to have like a different version that he'll announce in a day or so that he'll sell directly off of his site. And I think if you're quick, you can get those. I could be wrong. I mean, they're not really cheap. It's not like an impulse buy, so that helps a little, I think.
Oh, how big are these?
This one is 24 centimeters high. Well, it's cube, right? So like 8 inches, I think. Oh, no, almost 10, 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5.
9.65 inches. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I have to just say my favorite thing about this post is in the comments, one guy says genius and the guy under
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. It's very polarizing. Very polarizing. Yeah. I mean, the other thing.
So the next one that I really want to talk about is this. I don't know about you guys. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sure.
What do you? I mean, you guys. I know a lot of you guys are Transformer fans, and I know you guys. A lot of you guys like Quicks. I mean, what's your thoughts on this figure?
So I like it. I think the weird thing for me about it is it says it's vinyl, and it could be vinyl, but it's definitely not Roto. There's no
way. There's no way it's Roto.
Like I don't see any,
especially with the hands.
It's got to be like injected molding, right?
Yeah, I don't see any part on here that could be. Well, the body maybe, but like the rest, there's no way. But yeah. I mean, I you know, I'm a sucker for Transformers personally, so I like it. I do think it's a little weird, only being from like the chest up.
Yeah,
but I get it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I have a slight like issue with.
You mean the fact that it's a bust as opposed to a full figure?
Yeah, but they could make it a full size Transformer. That's the thing. It was.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I mean it works right with the DJ idea.
Yeah, but they could have done like the DJ booth, and they could have done something clever with like, the face of it or something. But yeah, the quality of it, I mean, it looks great.
It does look really good. Does it feel very Quicks-like to you?
Other than the fact that the forehead does.
Logo? The forehead, yeah.
Yeah, the forehead.
Exactly.
And the chain. Clearly, it has the chain.
Right.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know it was Quicks if the logo was on it.
Yeah, I wasn't
Wasn't on
either.
it.
Well, I mean,
It feels a little like
here's a
low-hanging fruit to me.
Here's a comparison. This is a.
Oh, there we go.
I wonder
See
if
that?
it's maybe licensing restrictions.
It could be.
Do you think you just went a little too close to comfortable with it and didn't like really jazz it up Quicks like?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like other than the logo on the head and the chain, it's pretty much more or less on model, or it seems like it is.
Yeah, I mean, like the style of his stuff I like so much, and the Soundwave just feels like cosplay. You know, it feels it feels like low hanging fruit. It's like, all right, we'll take the boombox and we'll make him a DJ and I'll throw a chain on it. And
well, see, go back to the other Quicks figure. Like, see how he has the logo on the forehead and he has the two these guys. If he had those on there, something like that, just to like dial it in a little more.
Yeah, exactly. If it was more of a
Definitely.
combination of the two styles, I think I would like it more. As it is, it just looks like, and not to criticize it, not to be crappy, but it looks like I could kit bash that together right now in 20 minutes with a figure and a chain and a table, as opposed to the other Quicks figures, which I can't do that. Like, there's a lot of style and movement and shape and character design to that obviously there's a ton of character design to Soundwave. He's like one of my favorite design robots of all time, but that's just the robot. There's not a lot to that speaks to me as someone that actually collects Soundwave, as being like, yeah, I really want to throw that on the shelf. Again, not to be a dick, because I really like Quick's work. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point.
I
really think that's a fair point. Yeah.
Don't hate me, but I'm just going to say this anyway.
It's like I hate talking about artists whose work I respect and be like, yeah, you misfired. But that one for me is not something I would.
It says we have Quicks watching right now.
Awesome. Oh, good. Hi, Quicks. Like your work.
This was the last show he'll ever watch. That was.
Luckily, he's going like, who the hell is Janky? So it doesn't really matter what I think.
Who cares what this guy thinks?
Who's this dude?
Let's see. Let's pick one more thing to talk about, guys. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to?
The Pigums is great. That Pigums, the Frank Pigums.
So this is a hundreds exclusive, because they did an entire capsule with Frank Kozik. The hundreds being, a clothing brand out of Los Angeles here, and they added the horns to it, which I thought was kind of cool for this color.
It is cool.
And this is Black Book Toys in Japan. I mean, Pigums itself is a really cool figure. So it's just
I like this colorway because I remember the poster that it's from. I'm not really a Papa Roach fan, but I think it's from that poster.
Oh, there was a poster?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a Papa Roach concert poster, if I'm not mistaken. But and he has the horns just like that and everything. So it's that's when I see this, I'm like, oh, that's vintage Frank Kozik, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it fits right into the collection, because the collection is a bunch, hoodies and shirts that have the vintage Kozik concert posters on them.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
It's all his old like gig posters and stuff like that.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Nice.
And it sits. Like
all right, and
which is cool.
And it sits
because
of the knife and everything. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was our favorite segment right there when we visit the Vinyl Pulse site, which is really just the Instagram of Vinyl Pulse.
Okay, thank you, Ben, for that clarification.
All right. Well, guys, it's come down to the hour. Is there anything else that we want to mention? Anything else going on that we want to?
Yeah, I have a question actually.
Go ahead.
I have a question for guys. So the new Kickstarter we saw, that looks amazing on the dinosaurs. How do you do the tails and the spines and stuff? Is that part of the torso? Does it clip onto the head?
In that particular case, let me pull one out here. So we'll use this T-Rex as an example.
Okay.
So there is a collar piece.
Oh, all right.
It goes there. Although
Okay.
actually, I picked the wrong one. He's the one exception. In order to give the T-Rex this badonkadonk kind of vibe, big hips,
Right.
you kind of see the booty action on that. So he's the one special one. I picked up that example. So these hips are part of the assembly that gets trapped when he assembles on the legs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Cool.
He's the
Pretty
exception.
elaborate.
The real general one is here. This guy's a better example. So this is what I should have showed you. So the collar gets trapped by the head when it assembles. And then all that back assembly in the tail is part of that piece that extends up here onto the neck.
Okay. So it's like a harness, basically.
Kind of like a harness. And then this one's one of the special ones too. In order to complete the head and make it manufacturer friendly, the lower mouth is actually a part of that harness, as you said.
That's really smart.
Oh, wow. Neat.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
find
Smart. It's good design.
Yeah, it's trying to, because there's always complicated answers to problems and things that make manufacturing more expensive. And that's usually the sign of a good design is you got where you needed to go with the least amount of compromise and the most manufacturing friendly choices to it. And if it's like industrial design. If you do it right, it shouldn't even draw the attention of your audience. Like people looking for it will appreciate it, but it should just feel kind of effortless on first view. That means you probably did it right.
Nice.
So I think that's the point to say, wow, you did it right.
Yay.
You nailed it.
Hey, thanks, Janky. You're the best.
Yeah. Well, I've got a brontosaurus named after me now. So
You big janky-saur, you. Maybe it'll be the
Brachiosaurus.
janky-saur. The Bronto janky. Yeah, I'll work on it. We'll find
Yeah.
a name.
All right,
I'm
guys.
curious.
Well,
Philip wants an Animal Crossing update.
yeah, somebody wants an animal. Philip wants an Animal Crossing.
Yes. What have
update.
you added to your island, Scott?
What have I added? God, I can't even remember.
And with that, we want to thank everyone for joining us this week for this episode.
Terrible.
Oh, Ben, we should have an Animal Crossing segment to the show.
Animal Crossing
can have
Geeks.
We can take one episode where you can just do they make Animal Crossing toys?
They do.
There's amiibos for sure.
Yeah, they make Funko makes some
Do they
toys.
really?
Yeah.
But Ben's getting excited.
Well,
I
there
know
you
that
go.
they're-
We can have an episode where
We'll talk about layout choices. We'll talk about fish rarity. We'll talk about. I just moved my house. That was a big deal.
Are you ready for Saturday? You have to jump on Saturday. It's the bug.
Bug off. Get
Bug
ready
off.
for the bug off, you guys. Guys, Saturday, bug off.
And I'm not happy that you're not working on your island this week. It makes me
Sorry,
very
I was
sad.
playing Pokemon.
I have no idea.
Come on.
I'm an adult and I was playing
pretend I know what
Pokemon.
bug off is.
Bug off.
I'll work on my
All right,
island
everyone.
for you,
Well,
Scott.
thank you for joining us for another episode here. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Guy, thank you once again for joining us live here on the show and talking about all that is bricks and exclusive. And appreciate everyone watching. If you're not watching this live and you're watching the recorded version, then please leave us your comments. Tell us what you'd like to see more. We'd love hearing from you guys. And
Send all angry
just based
flames
on
to
the
Ben.
numbers that are happening out there, you'll probably see us on here next week. So,
And next year.
oh,
And Ben, are you doing Pop Shop again on Friday, Ben?
Yes.
Pop
You
Shop
can
on
join
Friday.
3D Retro.
Actually, Ben,
download the app. What is
do
it?
you have can you show us the preview of the main attraction, or do you not have it there?
I don't have it here. I should
Oh,
have brought one of each. Which I think you guys. I think
Rainbow?
you're talking about the Gary Baseman.
yeah.
Our
Oh, I could
rainbow.
use I could use the Toy Geeks exclusive graphic for like a third time. If you
Yeah, Ben, send me a link to that because I'd like to see that go on. It sounds pretty fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
absolutely.
It is fun.
It's like Home
Absolutely.
Shopping Network, but like entertaining.
But entertaining.
Imagine Ben on
not
Home Shopping
everybody
Network.
watching a 60.
Right. And Kevin's like eating and grumping at you, which makes it
You
even
guys
more.
Everyone
So,
making fun of Kevin.
Yes, Samurai
Oh, no.
Shores.
Nobody's
should
making
put
fun of
Samurai.
Kevin. Don't.
I
Oh,
made
are
fun-
you
start
kidding?
I made fun of
that.
Kevin a
Come
few
on.
times.
In the very beginning, who is in charge of Kevin's wardrobe? You didn't see that?
I
Anyway,
didn't write that. I just asked if Kevin
Kevin-
hated making money.
Kevin is a grown man and he dresses himself.
I can't criticize it. It was a Pokemon T-shirt, and that's the reason I didn't play Animal Crossing.
a very loud one.
Oh my gosh.
Guys,
All
like,
right,
what
but
have I
yes,
gotten
you
into?
can catch you can catch that. We'll put a link up for anybody that may be interested in.
Oh wait, we're still live.
participating in that.
Oops.
Yeah, we are still live. All right, everyone, we're gonna end the show. Thank you again for joining us. We will put up links and comments, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
See you.